Hello and welcome back to Star Wars Outpost. Today we're going into the topic of why people love Maul. Maul is one of everyone's favorite dark side characters. He was a true victim and his life is quite tragic when you think about it. His mother sided with Sidious when Maul was just a baby. Sidious then took Maul and trained him to use the dark side of the Force from a very early age. Maul only ever knew hate. He had no chance of another life once Sidious found him, and when Maul meditated on this fact, he grew bitter against the Jedi because they didn't get to him first. He was suffering and he wanted out of this torture. He knew if he was a Jedi, he wouldn't have to endure such pain, and that fueled his desire for revenge against any Jedi he encountered. When Darth Sidious finally decided to reveal the existence of the two Sith, Maul was powerful enough to play a vital role in his master's plan to overthrow the Jedi. He was a true monster and somebody I think we were all scared to watch, at least when we first saw The Phantom Menace way back when. He killed the beloved Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn, but was subsequently defeated by Jinn's Padawan, Obi-Wan Kenobi, or so we thought. When Maul was revealed to be alive in the Clone Wars, we all freaked out in more ways than one. He was quite terrifying in the state his brother Savage found him in. Maul had gone absolutely insane, consumed with pure hate and a will to live, to get back at he who had done this to him. Yes, the longer he lived, the more powerful he became because his anger and hatred, his suffering, fueled his dark side abilities. He had more potential now than ever before because he wasn't being controlled or constrained by a Sith Master that would have viewed him as an eventual threat. He became a force to be reckoned with even by Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan and his Padawan, the Chosen One, Anakin Skywalker, struggled to defeat Maul throughout the Clone Wars. Time and time again, Obi-Wan tried to kill him, but simply couldn't. Maul wouldn't lose, and he had learned a lesson in patience that allowed him to wait for opportune times to strike. Years later, Maul was still on the hunt for Kenobi. Maul was simply obsessed with getting his revenge against Kenobi. At the same time, he recognized a need to overthrow Darth Sidious, and this is where Maul's intelligence really shone. He created a master plan of his own, working behind the scenes as a crime lord while having the syndicate leaders represent him. Maul remaining in secret virtually the whole time. He knew the more powerful he became behind the scenes, the greater chance he had in becoming a real threat against the evil that was Darth Sidious. Just like his former master, Maul was able to wait and wait and wait before making his move. He eventually decided to travel back to the planet Malachor, the planet shrouded in the dark side where he had trained to become a Sith Lord so many years prior. He wanted to again study the ways of the Sith in order to be able to overthrow them. But after using his cunning to lure Jedi Padawan Ezra Bridger into opening up a Sith holocron with him, he learned of a truth he couldn't resist acting on. Obi-Wan Kenobi was alive. He was immediately thrown into animal mode. He smelled his prey, and the only thing his emotional instinct allowed him to do was hunt, kill. When Maul finally found Kenobi and was subsequently defeated for the second and final time on the planet Tatooine, his final words left a tragic mark on his legacy. He will avenge us. Yes, Maul recognized the true victim of this scheme that he was. He recognized that in the end, he and Kenobi were one and the same because they were both played and toyed with. He was treated as a dispensable tool, and the pain that came from this truth carved his whole life path. His life was in many ways out of his control. His feelings weren't invalid, and for many of us, it took these final words to understand that, at the end of the day, Maul wasn't ever the bad guy. Don't get us wrong, Maul was accountable for all the decisions he made, all the actions that he followed through with, but we can all agree that he would have been a completely different person if he had been raised by Mother Talzin or the Jedi. His life would never have looked like this if there was no Sith Master in his life. So many of us can relate to a less than ideal childhood that shaped your life and every decision you've made. So many of us can relate to being judged before being understood. So many of us can relate to living your life unaware of the emotional reasons behind your actions, not only to realize too late that you are so similar to many of the people you like least of all. But at the end of the day, without the tragedy that was Darth Maul, we'd have lost an incredible character that ironically brought us so much happiness and subconsciously reminded us of things we should think about more often. What about you? Why do you like Maul? Be sure to let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching and subscribing, and we'll catch you in the next one.